Our next speaker is a one of the folks who's helping keep Austin weird. Uh, that's not her claim to fame. That's me being funny. She hails from Austin currently, and she is one of the great speaker coaches that are part of our community here at Speaker Co-op, and helps folks in the servant leader world. Sammi is a great supporter of folks speaking their truth to the world and being authentic in that speaking. And she helps folks stay in that lane that they really want to be in, and helps them get in, figure out what lane they want to be in, and stay there. With that, I won't expand too much. I'll let her do that for herself. Ladies and gentlemen, Sammi Sadicario, the voice expert.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for the introduction, and thank you, Kirk, for starting us out today. And also, thank you for your service. I work with a lot of veterans myself. They're some of my favorite group of people to work with, especially in Austin. So I am a voice consultant. My name is Sammi Sadicario, and I am an advisor for purpose-driven leaders. I take you into the purpose of speaking your truth and speaking from your heart with authority, charisma, and power so that you can transform audiences and not bore them, as many of my clients come to me for. So I take both a science and a spirituality approach to the voice and public speaking, because guess what? Your voice is deeply spiritual, whether you are spiritually or not, it just is. And I will prove that in this conversation today, so that you can transform the audiences in front of you, because that's why you're here, right? You want to change the world. As Kirk just said, he wants a 500-year effect of what he's doing now. He wants to create an energetic shift in the world. And how do you do that? It's with your voice, my friends. So what does it mean to speak from the heart? Just take a minute. Think about that for yourself. What does it mean to speak from the heart? We hear it all the time, and it's possibly the most annoying piece of advice I've ever heard. And when I get annoyed by something, I go deep and I ask, why am I annoyed? What did this trigger in me? And it's because there's a separation of what we're saying and what that actually means. Now, a little bit about my background. I've been a singer for 22 years. I turned 31 months ago, so do that math. I've been doing this for a very long time. I have been in the business of transforming audiences since I was in the single digits of my age, since I was 8 years old. At 12 years old, I started asking really big questions about God. And I went to my rabbi and I said, I don't understand this. Please explain this to me. And he said, that's okay. You don't necessarily need to believe in God right now. We're going to sit down with literature. We're going to sit down with poetry. We're going to sit down with tradition and ritual. And we're going to talk about all of this. So I had a wonderful leader at that time who gave me information to help me find my truth and speak from my heart at a very young age. And I started to learn about many different religions. And at 12 years old, I was a student of many different religions. And here's what I found in common. They all had music. They all had dancing. They all had a director. And they all had something that they did together. Fast forward. In college, I got a BFA in musical theater. So I did the thing. I was auditioning for Broadway. I was putting this into practice day in, day out, studying Shakespeare, studying the voice, studying characters, studying all of these different aspects that turns out are all healing modalities. And I had no idea. I just wanted to be on Broadway. That was the goal. I didn't want to heal anything. Put me on that stage. Let me perform in front of people. However, in order to stand up and be in truth and be embodied, there is a lot of releasing that gets to happen. So I did a one-woman show in college, and it was a conversation of performance and ritual, and how ritual and performance are the same. So once again, I have been studying what I'm going to teach you today about the science and the spirituality of your voice for a very long time in many different modalities. I was denied from grad school, although I did apply for grad school around this topic. And to me, a rejection is a redirection. And I went, okay, so then who do I need to speak to right now? And I found all these purpose-driven leaders who went, I'm losing my voice, or I'm not able to get my point across. It feels like I get on that stage and I just ramble, or it's great when I practice and when I do it, something's off, or how do I project without yelling? And that's a lot for men. That's a big one for men because we're in, post Me Too movement. There's a lot of heart-centered men who are afraid to speak out, afraid to speak their truth. And that's why I work with so many men that I do. How do you take up space with your voice without yelling? So these are a lot of the things that people started to come to me for. Now, a few years back, I started to seek some of those healing modalities for myself because I genuinely needed them. Went through my own big T, little t trauma, as so many of us have done in 2020, 2021, in this age of, I call this the reparenting generation, where the people who are going, oh, maybe there's this part of me that didn't get enough love at one point. Maybe I should give that part of me a little bit more love. And maybe all these other things in my life will start to line up. So a lot of my clients are the people who are speaking on those things, right? Well, I was very disembodied for most of my life. I was a singer, I was a performer, I was an actress, I was a cruise director. Funny enough, I was a Barbra Streisand impersonator. There's always a little part of me that's like, am I going to talk about being a Barbra Streisand impersonator on this? And she's coming out to play, y'all. People seem to be just loving that fun fact about me. And I was doing all these things, and I was deeply separated from my truth. So when people told me to speak from the heart, I had no idea what that meant. No idea, because I was playing someone else on stage. From 8 years old, I was playing somebody else on stage. I was putting on an identity of another character. And we all do this. We all wear masks. The dad is a character. The mom is a character. The business owner is a character. The CFO, the CEO. These are characters we put on in order to be received by the people in front of us. And we're afraid that if we speak our truth, that we will no longer be received. However, we are all dying for authenticity. We are all eager for that authentic connection with the person on that stage. So one day I got into a car accident. It was in right before I moved to Austin, early 2022. I got into a car accident. I was rethinking all of my life choices. I was at my friend's house. I put on some music, and Vienna by Billy Joel came on the radio, Spotify, whatever it was. Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile. But then if you're so smart, tell me, why are you still so afraid? Where's your fire? What's your hurry about? You better cool it off before you burn it out. You've got so much to do and only so many hours in a day. Hey. Whew. And for the first time, I heard those lyrics. For the first time singing that song since I was a little girl, I heard those lyrics and I felt those lyrics and I started to cry. Because the first time in my life, I felt my voice in my body. Now, once again, I'm a classically trained singer. I performed on stages all over the world, all over the country, on cruises. I was a Barbra Streisand impersonator. And for the first time listening to this song after a trauma, I felt my voice in my body. I sang that song about 17 times that night, put it on karaoke. All of a sudden, my voice could do things that I had no idea it could do. I expanded by a full octave, and I went, whoa, there's something here. Now, in the next 6 months, people started to ask me to teach them how to use their voice and how to sing. And I started to take what I learned in that moment and teach it. Because here's the thing that people forget, and this is where speaking from the heart comes from. Your voice is a vibration. Your voice is physical matter. You can't see it, but it's there. It is a sound wave emanating from your body. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, so where's it coming from? It's coming from your soul. There you go. Now you got proof. I am determined to prove consciousness, soul, through the power of the voice, and give you the results of being able to stand on stage and hold authority when you do it. And also make it interesting, so that people listen and hang on your every word, which hopefully you're doing now. I hope I'm doing my job right. Now you're hanging on my every word. What's she going to say? What gold is she going to drop? I want you to have that power too. You can. And it's about being so clear with what's happening in your heart, in your soul, that you can access that. You can access that moment of consciousness speaking through you. It's totally possible for everybody if you learn how to tune in to your own vibration and your own energy. Energy is contagious. Right now, I'm speaking My sound waves, my sound energy is hitting the wall and coming back at me at reverb. So I am receiving my own energy right now. And when I get on stage, I know that each and every person is receiving my energy, and then they are going to go tell somebody else about it. They are going to go live in a little bit of a higher vibration. I'm giving these like spiritual words and also the science behind them. That is my goal here. And if it's not clear, let me know, because I am so determined to teach this over and over and over and over again until 6-year-olds understand this and are teaching it to their parents. This is my dharma, and I will be teaching this for the next 50 years. So always open to receiving. I didn't understand that. Can you tell me that? Yes, absolutely. Let me break it down better. This is the science and spirituality of your voice. So the science, our vocal cords slap together. Our breath carries the sound waves. That's when people say project from your diaphragm. What it means is use your breath to carry that sound out into the room. And by doing that, you are changing the energy. So what energy are you bringing into it? And so this is the fun part about singing, because singing is the highest vibration of communication. As discussed with all of these different religions that sing and dance, we're doing it to release the trauma that lives in your body. If you haven't read The Body Keeps the Score, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Go out there and read The Body Keeps the Score. Perfect. Thank you so much for the 5, Jeff. Trauma lives in the body, and we get it out of the body through voicing and through dancing and through any sort of nervous system regulation and or what we call toning the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest nerve in the body. It is what's in charge of rest and digest. And when you use your voice in a musical way with what I have trademarked musical tonality, which is what you're experiencing here, you're experiencing me in the excitement, you're experiencing me in the vision, you're experiencing me in the grounding. These are all practical vocal tools that I teach my students and I teach my clients to use so that you can know exactly what you need to do with your voice to transform the energy of a room. And I'm going to keep using that. Your voice is a vibration, and it is a behavior that you have learned, and you can unlearn and relearn it so that you can transform a room and speak from the heart every single time. Every single time. It's super simple. I was nervous today. This is very early for me. I usually don't talk to humans this early. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to do exactly what I teach my students. I'm going to ground myself. I'm going to put my feet in the earth. I'm going to connect to my entire body through what guided meditations. We do this through guided meditations, and learning how to feel the beginning, the moment before the sound escapes from your body. That moment before, that is consciousness. That moment before God, spirit, whatever word you want to use, we're talking about the same thing. That moment before the sound happens, that's what we're tuning into. And so when we speak from the heart, what we're talking about is that bridge between your body and the spirit, which is the voice. So how do you find where the real story is that you want to tell, where it lives from your body, and sound from that part of your body? Because when you begin to make sound from that part of your body, you are stimulating that vagus nerve, your rest and digest, and you're calming yourself. And when you can find that place in your body to speak from, that is when your audience goes, ah, I'm taken care of. This person knows how to guide me through this transformation that they want me to have. And that's the effect we want to have on our audience. Your audience wants you to succeed. They want you to be amazing. They want to hang on your every word and drool over what you are telling them. They want to hand you money and say, help me fix my problems. That's what they want. And you can give it to them if you communicate it. You don't get paid for what you know, you get paid for what you communicate. And so I am here to help you move through the energetic blocks, keeping you from your highest level of communication so that you can go out there and speak from the heart in a scientific and spiritual way with authority and power and purpose and charisma. That is my purpose on this earth, because I do see that we've got some problems in this earth. And so I am here to empower the leaders to make those changes. And so if you would like to learn more about the work that I do, you're welcome to find me on LinkedIn. You're welcome to find me on Facebook. YouTube channel is beginning. I also offer a free vocal assessment. So if you would like to learn what your voice says about you, and how people are receiving your energy, your vibration, your energy, your soul through your voice currently, and what could be unlocked and what could be moved in order to unleash that full potential of your voice and your power and your authority and your purpose on this earth, well, then you can book a free call with me and we'll chat about it. And if you have any questions, I am always here to answer them. This is, as I said, my dharma, my purpose. I'm incredibly passionate about it. Can't really go to parties without talking about it anymore. So can always feel free to send me a message and we'll talk about what that looks like. Thanks so much, Jeff.
Thank you, Sammi. Great job. Really good work. Thank you so much. And share your contact info for everybody on the Zoom and on the Facebook feed.
Perfect. Yes. If you want to find me, well, if you want to find me on TikTok, it's The Voice Expert. If you want to find me on LinkedIn, it's Sammi Sadicario, Sammi. Sadicario is Sadicario. It sounds scarier than it is, I promise. And then if you want to send me an email to book that voice assessment, you just hello@musicaltonality.com. So send me that email. That's HELLO at musicaltonality.com.
I think you might be able to do Sadicario to the tune of Mickey Mouse, but I'm just thinking aloud.
SADIC. Wait. SADICARIO. You got it.
Maybe close.
Something like that. We tried. Thanks, Jeff.